Okay?
They might like that better.
Well, they get to see your faces then instead of your backs, guys. Okay, just wait until I give you the heads up. Okay, guys?
Welcome to the U.S. Open One Pocket Championships for 2019, presented by CueSports Internationals, being held at Griff's Billiards in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is George Teachad, joined by Ben Sutherland in the booth. Going to bring you the live action. Hey, Benny.
Good morning, George. How are you?
Doing fantastic. What a field we have here. We have 21 players of cue slingers, and we have. This is a tight match we have coming up. The opening match here on the live stream.
Yep, we've got Ian Costello versus Steve Lingelbach.
Ian is local here in Las Vegas. I like to call him the undercover man because this guy is at every tournament playing every pro. He gets a little bit of a handicap from the pros, and he just likes to test his skills. Steve Lingelbach actually loves to teach pool up in the Portland, Oregon area. And he's a 59-year-old playing a 40, what is Ian, 41, I believe. But these are two experienced players. They play all games. They've met before, and they'll meet again throughout their careers.
Oh, yes.
And we get to watch them right here in Las Vegas at Griff's.
Yep, we've got, these are all races to 3. I believe our finals are going to be an extended race. Do you know if that's 4 or 5?
It's 4.
Thought so. Thank you.
The final race will be to 4, but all races will be to 3. We're playing one pocket. They're playing cue ball fouls only. When a ball is at the head string, it must be completely out for them to shoot it. And one pocket is a game of chess on a pool table. For those of you that don't really know it or don't really play it, what you want to do is push balls in front of your hole, and as Steve just demonstrated, open balls up so they can be played in front of your hole, which Steve's is the right-hand corner pocket as you're looking at the table, and Ian's is the left-hand corner pocket. Now, see, he was trying to come up against the 9 and the 12. Had he been able to put him there, it really limits Steve to what he can do. The fact that he didn't get there opens up possibilities. He can play off the 1, bring the cue ball in over the 4, and what that would do is he's going to play the 1 ball to the upper part of the table, but he's going to give himself a bank shot that Ian has to guard against. So you want to have banking lanes. It brings out. Oh, he hit it hard. I don't understand that he hit that hard, soft, and he leaves it over by the first diamond, away from the rail. He now has a bank shot. He can, have a bank shot, but he didn't. He hit it hard and went over, and this allowed. Look at Ian, his cue ball. You'll see their cue balls. If you don't know where to leave your opponent playing one pocket, leave him in front of his pocket.
Helpful, useful piece of advice right there for.
Leave him on the rail between his pocket and the first diamond. The closer to the pocket, the better it is. The closer to the rail, the better it is. In fact, there's one of the best players in the world playing one pocket, has a nickname of Freezer because he freezes you to the rail every chance he gets.
Look at this shot. So Ian strikes first blood. Great bank shot on the 14.
Oh, you know what he's got right here that I like? He's got a combo. Or he could 4-rail the 5 and bring the cue ball over underneath those balls. But he's got a straight cut on it, too, I think.
What combo are we looking at?
Not the combo, the 615.
615, okay.
Yeah, 615.
I wasn't sure if there was enough room. I thought the 8 might be blocking it a little, but
just
maybe not.
As you look at it, these are all things to look at.
Yeah.
When I say that, those are all options. The players know exactly. They see the angles better than we do in the booth. So when we call a shot, like I mentioned that combo, well, as I look at it real close, and I hadn't had time to look at it real close, it doesn't, the 6 doesn't clear the 8. But see there again, he tried to get the cue ball up against those balls. Makes a world of difference if you get the cue ball against it or where it's at. You can go 2 rails into the stack right by where the 2 ball is. He didn't get to where the 2 ball was. See that little area between the 2 and the other balls, like a little U shape? That's exactly where you wanted to land that cue ball.
Right,
Makes it
right by
extremely
the,
tough.
I think it's the 13 and the 10.
Right there.
Yeah.
And again, he'll come over here, back and forth.
You put that pretty well when you said one pocket is kind of like a chess match on a pool
Well,
table. It really is.
What you have to control is the cue ball and the speed of the object ball.
Mhm.
And then you also want to have pieces in play. Efren does this very, very well. I think he's one of the greatest one-pocket players ever. Is he has stages of where he puts balls. Like opening shot, I suggested he bank the one ball over to the right side and try to get the cue ball back into the stack. Now he has a ball that covers us. That he can't be left down low in front of his pocket because they give up a bank shot. And I remember I said the best place to leave your opponent is the bottom in front of your pocket. Leave him in front of your pocket. If he has a ball up by the first diamond, he's got a bank shot. So now it limits where your opponent can go with the cue ball.
I see. I have a feeling
Makes
you're
it
going to
tougher
be
for them.
correcting me a little bit throughout
No, I
the
will never
duration of
correct
this.
you. I'll never correct you. I'll just because you'll never be wrong. You just were mistaken.
Look at that combination. That was not
Well,
intentional.
no,
okay.
he was trying to take him out, and you know sometimes shots like that, he was trying to hit the right side of the ball on the bottom, so it would bank and go into the 9-13, and the other one would clear the table and possibly not finish. But even and at times there'll be times where you'll see players sacrifice and make a ball for their opponent because they'd rather give up that ball than the next 6.
Yeah, overall it's for the greater good.
As they do in straight pool, as you saw in straight pool, the same thing. Intentional scratches. You'll see a lot of intentional scratches in one pocket. There is a 3-foul rule. 3 consecutive fouls by the same player is loss of game.
I didn't know that. It's pretty awesome. I think we were playing, you must have 1 foot on the ground at all times.
Yes. We're not playing Louisiana.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was
we
going with
just-
that, which I find is super unique and super awesome. It's just, from what I hear and from what I understand, you don't really see it too many other places aside from, Louisiana area.
Steve actually has a shot on this 2-ball. He might be able to get away with it, but he's trying to find a way to get the cue ball on the right side of the stack and not give up. I'm back to the left side of the stack and not give up a shot, and he did. He
And
was
pushed the
successful.
12 near his pocket as well. That was a good shot.
He has 2 shots here. He can either kick at the 12, which is he's doing immediately, or he could go off the 3-ball and try to get behind the 12. Playing the 3-ball option, see, nice, hits the ball, and
That
there's
was
no
beautiful.
scratch. Had he scratched, he wouldn't mind if he could leave it behind the ball. What he was trying to do there is stay behind the 12-ball. And it's hard to measure that speed and hit the ball. Steve is positioning the balls pretty well. Even though Ian has 4 balls to Steve's 0, there's strength on the side. See how adept he is at removing balls and pushing balls in front of his hole. But shots like this sometimes give up a bank shot, and it can turn the whole game around. You give up one good bank shot in this game, like if he pockets this 9, he's going to be a happy camper. And this is pocketable.
You called it, sir. That was a great shot.
Yeah. Now he has a combination, and which he can shoot and hold the cue ball. He can play the 12-15 and keep the ball below the other ball so he doesn't sell out. He could play the 10-15, but that's what it looks like he's playing. No, yeah, he's just playing. He's just pushing the ball in front of his hole.
Yeah.
Strength. I don't think he's going to like this because strength is now on Ian's side. Ian will probably try to put him behind the 10-ball. No, he's gonna settle for being down there, huh?
Hasn't left anything on offer for Steve here. Nothing too aggressive. I suppose he could play that combination, but he's destined to sell out if he doesn't pocket it. So he'll be likely going the safety route here.
Okay. We are playing just straight up rules as far as one pocket goes. There are rules that will speed up the game where if there is, 5 balls in the kitchen behind the head string, you spot the closest one to the line. No, that is not being played here today. Those are usually designed to speed up the game, and Actually, those I believe were called Grady Matthew rules. There was a certain formula they used to speed the game up. A lot of times you'll have what's called the wedge. Nick Vardner made it famous. Is to push balls up table behind the line and group them in one corner, and that slows the game down considerably. And I was asked a question via messenger whether those rules were being incorporated, and the answer is no. We're going to play just good old-fashioned one pocket, and he's given up a bank on this. I don't know. He's a little bit below it. I'm not sure Ian will shoot this 15 ball at his pocket. He might shoot it, but not at his pocket. No, he's shooting it at his pocket. Nope. I thought he was going to try to run into the 8 and shoot at his pocket. Would not have been a bad shot.
No.
No. But what it does do is, had he missed it, he gives up a bank.
Yeah, he didn't want to sacrifice anything yet.
This is a game of risk-reward. Every time you take a shot, you weigh your risk and you weigh your reward.
One pocket is the game I play well for about the first rack or two. And then the aggressive, fast player in me tends to come out, and I start to make poor decisions and take shots that are too aggressive. And I know they're the wrong shots. I just don't.
You make a good point as far as aggressive. One pocket has really changed over the years. Ronnie Allen really started out with changing the game of one pocket, being very aggressive. Old-fashioned one pocket players, they would not take a shot at their hole if they stood a chance of possibly leaving a shot. They just, everything was defense, 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 patience, 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 and it just took forever. Ronnie Allen came along, and he showed them how to move the cue ball defensively and offensively at the same time. Another guy that's a wizard at that is Mr. Scott Frost.
Yes.
Extremely aggressive one pocket.
Power one pocket.
Tony Chohan's another guy.
Oh, yes.
He just, if he thinks he can make it, he goes for it. Tony does not really weigh his risk reward. What he weighs is, I can make that ball, so I'm playing it. And this will win me the game. And that's exactly what he does. Yes, he does, and he does take care of his cue ball, don't get me wrong. But he's very offense-minded. And if you ever watch some of the shots that he misses, his cue ball's still safe.
Yeah, I've noticed.
His cue ball's still safe. They play it two ways. Everything's a two-way in one pocket. I hope those two guys don't use using their name in vain here. If they're listening or if they hear about this. But those are our upper echelon players in one pocket. And we have some here today. We have the gentleman by the name of Shane Van Boning. Belongs. The guy that's won the last 2 tournaments this week, last past 6 days. That guy
I'm not
plays
familiar.
good one pocket. Billy Thorpe.
Folks, I'm totally kidding.
Yeah.
Congrats to Shane Van Boning on his 2nd bank pool title in a row, and he's finally got his first U.S. Open straight pool championship title under his belt. Runner-up in both events so far has been Billy Thorpe. So Shane has a commanding lead on the overall, all around. Billy would be in 2nd place on that.
And there's another gentleman here that's in the upper echelon of pool, Mr. Alex Pagalayan, Corey Duell.
And we got a great
Mitch
field.
Ellerman plays good one pocket. Paul Marquez, Warren Kiamko. And we got a contingent out of Phoenix here that comprises about 35% of the field. Got Gus Brasino, Bernie Pettipiece, Chris Adams, Trace Kane. Trace will show up as Ellis Kane.
I'm still going to put Ron Rutan in that category.
And I was about to say, Ron, thank you for bringing up Preacher Ron.
Although he's representing Washington, I believe. He will always be
Mitch Ellerman.
Arizona in my book.
So quite a bit of the field comes out of the Phoenix area. John Mora plays great one pocket. So does Gabe Owen.
Yes.
Gabe Owen is a former Derby City Open champion. So,
former U.S. Open champion.
Yes. So we've got a pretty strong field here for you today, these next 3 days. You're missing a ball. You're missing a ball. I don't know who has 5. We're discussing the score at the bottom of your screen. There's 4 and 1 balls, but there's a ball missing. There's 6 balls that have been pocketed, and we're trying to figure out who is where. There's a little confusion on the score. For on our end, not theirs. Now you see right here, that rule that I mentioned earlier, if there's 5 balls in the kitchen, they go downhill. They go back on the spot. Right now there'd be 2 balls spotting, I believe, because you can only have 4 balls in the kitchen sometimes 5. It all depends on your rule. Now this game will take a while since the score is 4-2, and the majority, well, not the majority, all the balls are up table. So this is what makes one pocket. Some people feel that it just takes too much time to play, and this is one of the things that makes it take that kind of time. The reason for pushing the balls uphill is that the players feel they don't have an advantage keeping them downhill in the position they find themselves in at the time. So little by little, the balls are pushed uphill into the kitchen or up table so that they can't, if they make a mistake, for instance, right now, let's say Ian gets up here, he's shooting, and he makes a mistake. The best Steve can do is maybe run 1 or 2 balls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they're down table, you can get them all. So push them up, slow things down. If I make a mistake, I'll play them 1 ball at a time, and if I make a mistake, it can only cost me 1 or 2 balls. The strategy behind it.
Smart strategy.
If you're not an aggressive player, I like keeping the balls downhill.
Yeah.
I like keeping the balls down at the bottom, take care of my cue ball, and I don't mind, well, you know, I live and die by the sword. I either win fast or lose fast, but I can't stand lengthy games because some players won't even shoot a shot because they might sell out. So it's just time-consuming, non-productive shots. Bunt, bunt, bunt. Especially, you know, a lot of the old school guys just bunt, bunt, bunt. They don't go for nothing. That was bad English, folks. They don't go for anything. See, there's no real shot here. He could possibly. No, he's just going to play safe, but he doesn't want to leave the cue ball on the top side of the table at the bottom because he gives up a bank shot. See, he doesn't want to go back in front of and leave him in front of Ian's hole. This is where you don't want to leave him in front of his hole. In places like this.
Playing the up table game.
Well, when there's balls that he can bank. You know, certain rules apply, certain generalities apply, but they're not always, you know, foolproof.
Look at that cue ball.
Yes. This is put a ball in front of your hole and hide it. Hide the cue ball. Protect it. This is where you know how you protect a piece in chess? He protects a pawn right here. It's a piece. It's a ball in front of his hole. And he's going to get it because Steve has no choice but to do something. So I would go off the 12 and try to put the cue ball up against the 8. If I fail, I give up 1 and possibly a bank. But this is not offensive. He got safe.
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah, he's going to wish he didn't. I would challenge him on this shot. I would go ahead and shoot the 3 ball and put the cue ball up against those balls and get 2 balls in front of my hole. And challenge him with a long shot against a rail. But, oops, but some players will not take any chances. Now see, that pawn that he protected is going to get moved.
Yeah.
But this, he's left him a kiss angle. This could kiss. Even just getting it out of the way could kiss. That's giving up a bank shot. Ian will eat this up.
Good
Thanks
shot.
for lunch.
Great shot. That ball's as good as gone. I see Steve just roll up on it.
No, he's going to give it away. So now he's got
Sacrifice
5.
it.
Yeah. See what I'm. Oh, he's going to follow it? No, almost. he actually has a shot on the 2 ball, but since he's so far ahead, 5-2, he doesn't want to risk scratching. He could kick bank the 2 ball, 1 rail.
I see. Pretty creative shot.
Actually,
That's what he's doing.
He's playing it. I wasn't sure he would play it because you do risk a little bit of it could scratch. It doesn't look like it will, but it could.
He's up to bank on the 10.
He has. But, if he misses the bank, it's just another ball for Ian because he's going to have first shot on the deuce, and there's another little, as Mitch would say, potato down there for the taking.
Mitch and his food references.
References.
Giving him a hard time yesterday.
This is a good shot. He'll try to put this behind the 8. See, just like he did.
Froze it on there.
Yeah. And when you can freeze a ball, now Ian will just bump up the 7, hit a rail. All he has to do is make contact and a rail. And keep him, protect the ball. Don't know if he'll bank the
8 ball bank? Yeah.
Don't know if he'll bank the 8, but he's got to be careful about the 2. So you're having a ball in front of your hole. Banks the ball down there, it gives up the 2. He's giving him another ball. Little bank, putting him on 7. Having your opponent on 5 and 6 balls is, I guess you can call it manageable. When he gets on the hill and he hits that 7th ball, it's so much harder to manage because your opponent will now possibly take a flyer, especially when, to make it when the balls are tied up the way they are. He's got a nice 2 rail. Oh, never mind. He's got a nice cross bank on the 10 if he chooses it, but it could kiss, so he might avoid it. Never mind. He looked at it and see, he sees the kiss. When it's lined up to the corner pocket, like it is right now, straight into the corner, your bank has a possible kiss angle. He's given up. No, he hasn't given up a bank. I was going to say he's given up a bank here, but he hasn't. But he will remove the 2 ball and try to hit. He's just going to do it softly. I think I would go ahead and hit that a little harder. Ian actually has a shot on the 10 ball, but it's a touchy shot. It could go wrong, very, very wrong. And with his lead, does not want to risk it. I wouldn't either. But you see how the 10 ball would bank?
Spinning that bank shot, yeah.
Yeah, and he has to spin the cue ball to the left side of the table. And in doing that, if he brushes the 6 ball, the 10 ball ends up in front of his opponent's hole. So those shots that can go right like that, they'll stay away from. Like, for instance, this 2 ball has a chance. Just misses the, see, it just misses the 10 and has more than a chance. He hit it great. And he's got a 2 railer on the 7. I don't think he can get behind those balls, but he'll try. Mr. Costello wins his first game. Oh.
Ooh. I think that would that have won it or put him on the hill?
No, that puts him on the hill. I'm sorry. I looked at the score, and Tim's over there, Johnny, on the spot, and he already marked that one up. And I thought he had won the game, but he's already counted that ball. Some players will cut the 7 ball in.
Don't think there's too much harm in going for it. Especially if you play good speed. You don't make it, you leave it in front of the hole. You don't really have to worry too much about Steve being aggressive with one of those down table banks.
Now this is the bank shot that we talked about. Remember that 9 ball we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
How to back cut it?
Mm-hmm. I think it's just a little bit held up too much.
Mm-hmm. And see, now if Ian keeps putting balls in front of his hole, Steve's
going to be digging out the whole time.
He's just digging out all day long. This is a bank shot that is played and could be made.
That's
and
a great shot.
It is a great shot. And I was going to say, but a lot of players don't shoot that shot because of the scratch. I would have scratched if those balls weren't there.
Mm.
And but he's made a great shot. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a shot on the 8. And unfortunately, he did not follow that 6 in. Our sponsors for the U.S. Opens are jhelford.com, Jay has written 2 books, Pool Wars and More Pool Wars. He also has a website, jayhelford.com, where he does sell some DVDs and other items pool related. And of course, it's a good place if you have not read it or don't have his book. Pool Wars and More Pool Wars are good reading. Cyclop. They are playing with the Cyclop Hyperion balls. And of course, we're playing at Griff's here in Las Vegas. Kamui, their tips. I mean, they're super soft. They're soft. They're mediums. You can get the black or the regular. They're great tips. Predator. I mean, when you're talking top of the line equipment, hello Predator, as John Schmidt might testify. He just ran 626 balls with the Predator cue.
Sure did.
Simonis cloth. I think the majority of your pool halls across the country use Simonis cloth as it's being used here at Griff's Billiards. JB cases, some of the finest cases made. Discount custom apparel. In fact, there was a picture of John Schmidt in a discount custom apparel shirt after he ran his 626 balls on Facebook.
Really?
Saw it, yes. And this is brought to you by CueSports International, the streaming and the tournaments.
I saw John was in a Sardo rack shirt the other day, and somebody made a comment about the Sardo rack because they hadn't seen it in forever.
The Sardo?
Yeah, you remember the old Sardo racks?
I remember it.
That's what John was using for his one pocket, or his straight pool runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him using it at bull shooters.
So Ian, 1 ball away from taking game 1.
Game number 1.
Steve needs all 5.
And this, you kick this from underneath, but see, he's leery of leaving the 8 ball as a bank shot. Remember leaving the ball there?
Mm-hmm.
Limits what your opponent can do. And
now he's got the 6.
yeah, but he gives up the 10.
Yep.
Unless he can come around and come straight across and leave the cue ball in the middle of the table, he probably will not shoot it. He might have a 2-railer, but that could clip the 9 ball. So he's going to do something up on top. Yeah, he's giving up a shot. See, this is a nice shot for Steve to cut, go 2 rails for position on the 10.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sure he can draw it. He can draw over, but he'll try to maneuver, either get a bank shot, manufacture a bank shot. He just wants to make the ball with good speed. He didn't make it. He's giving up a bank shot.
Not enough legs.
Yeah. If he leaves it in front, right in the jaws, it works for him. If you leave it there, it's going to cost you. And it just cost him the first game.
Rack number 1, Ian Costello.
1 pocket.
We are playing alternating break, folks. First one to pocket 8 balls in their pocket wins the game.
The lag is super important because if you're hill-hill, you're racing to 3, the break is probably worth a ball and a, depending on your break, it's probably worth a ball and a half to 2 balls. Because you're going to have, watch when Steve breaks these balls. If he makes a good break, I forgot to really take a good look at, or I didn't have a chance to take a good look at the break.
Ian's break?
Ian's break?
Yeah, he didn't quite get
so
back up enough to cover what he had moved toward his pocket.
the point of breaking is trying to get a couple balls open by your hole, and the cue ball froze on the rail on your opponent's side. Let's see if he does it here. He's going to skim this with inside English, run right down the side of the rack, hit the bottom rail, come up to about the middle diamond is where you want it. Classic break.
Yep. Yeah, Ian got about halfway between the first and second diamond, kind of left his hole open on his first break shot.
Really, his only return of serve here is, here's where somebody like Scott Frost is really aggressive, and he can turn things around. But what I see Ian doing is either going off the 10 behind the 4, or going to the bottom rail and clipping the 4 real soft, and just leaving the cue ball there. But he can't move balls to his hole. So he'll be shooting defense because Steve's return will be coming off the 13, coming off a ball, and putting him in the area where he is now, or up against the rail, up against the rack, excuse me, which would be worse. And we'll watch these guys try to execute their strategies. That's the one thing about playing 1 pocket is knowing the game is one thing, executing it is another.
I believe Mr. Costello has stepped away for a moment,
Okay.
possibly using the restroom.
We'll have a little
I was
break in
I was
time.
picking Scott's brain years and years back, and
Mhm.
very humbly he had mentioned how he thought he was the best in the world on the shot after the break.
He does that extremely well.
And what you were just referring to
Yeah.
right here, like this scenario right here, Scott's, arguably one of the best at.
You know what Scott might do here? Is he might go rail first, bank the 4-ball to his hole, clip the 13, and go up table.
Yeah.
And possibly he feels like he can make the 4, but I doubt that he would. But that's just an example. What Ian has to guard against is that 2-ball is lined up to his hole, so he'll give up a kick shot, and the cue ball can stay in the stack, and more. See there you go. And he's done pretty good. He's put a ball out, but now Steve would do himself a disservice if he didn't look at that 1-8-2 and do a kick shot into it. And
I think
if
he's
he
looking at this.
He's looking at this ball here, taking
Bank.
the cue ball over. He can't get it by the 6. And now, see, all that advantage he had with those loose balls has gone away. Ian will come off this ball, bring him down to the bottom, leave the 6-ball for him to bank it later. And, oh, mistake.
Yep.
I don't know why he went in the stack, because he's given up a ball. I had to come to the bottom of the table.
And now Steve's got a good angle just to naturally travel over for that combination. I was already see him looking at right there, the 1-8-2.
I think he's given up 1 ball. You know what he could
And
do
the
here?
10 ball's in the way, isn't it?
No, he can shoot this ball.
No, he can play the 13,
Yeah.
but he can't get underneath the 1-8-2.
Well, he's going to try. I'd be looking to getting up for the.
Jumped it.
I'd be looking for getting up to the 4-ball on that shot.
Yeah.
That was a little unfortunate. You didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that was a great. He showed some great creativity there. Showed a lot of knowledge, knowing that if he elevated and kind of punched into that ball, it treats it like a jump shot.
This gentleman does have a lot of knowledge. He likes to teach pool in the Portland area. Him and his wife also have a website that sells cues and some pool supplies, and it's called Bigglebox.com.
Didn't know
Give him
that.
a little shot because he's playing. He found a dead one. Now he'll bank the 3. Or does the 8-ball look good? He'll take a look at the 8. I like just pushing the 8-ball over and sticking the cue ball against the 11.
It's going with your first shot.
Yeah, but if it hits a 10, it's no good. Oh, he's just going to put it up on top. Easy escape for the time being is going off the 5 to the bottom rail. He could actually just go ahead and shoot the 14 right into the 12 hard to get those balls away from there and stop the cue ball right there. That's an option, not one that I would take or choose, but that's just an option. He might be able to see the 12. There. Oops. Now he's given up a real nice shot. It wouldn't surprise me if Ian gets out from here.
Good shot there.
Ian plays with all the top pros in this game. He gets a little bit of a handicap.
Yes, he
and
does.
You walk into any tournament and he's playing Alex or anybody.
Yeah,
with a
Alex.
little bit of weight.
Alex comes in here and
Yes.
says, "Where's Ian? Where's Bernie?" another local player. And backer gentleman.
Uh-oh. That would have been unfortunate as it feathered off the 5. But that can happen. You don't want to move balls. Know where your cue ball's going. It's extremely important in one pocket. See how he's opened these up? Now you'll have shape on the 5 or the 9.
I need to work on my patience and start playing
Oh, he
this
tried to
game.
get down. Wow. Everybody's different. Everybody sees it different. That's one thing about one pocket. You can set up some balls and ask Alex how he would shoot and how he would run them out. Okay? He'll say one way. You could ask Scott. He'll probably give you a little bit different way. You could ask somebody that's not at that upper echelon and they'll give you a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you can ask 5 other guys at the pool hall, and you might find 4 other ways to do it.
I think it's all a matter of
Preferences.
preference and kind
Uh-oh,
of
cue ball.
staying,
Ouch. It did.
knowing your abilities and your capabilities and staying within them.
Huge mistake. And I'll tell you right now, Ian stepped to the table pretty fast and shot. I think he one-stroked that, didn't he?
Yep,
Yeah.
1 or 2. Yeah, it was
and
really
the cue
quick.
ball got away. He took the shot for granted. Give each shot its respect. Pre-shot routine. Important.
Now has he left anything? He's
Has
given
he
up
left?
ball in hand and spotted ball.
He's given up position. He's given his man ball in hand. You know what shot I like right here? Not this. Put the cue ball up about where the 7 is. 3 rail the 8, side rail, bottom rail. Go past the 5 and back to the corner and stop the cue ball on that side. It's a shot that you'll get familiar with if you shoot it a lot.
Yeah.
Ian's on the right, isn't he? He's got a free shot here. Now, see, I might have shot that with a little pace, bring the cue ball all the way over to the side pocket, and if I don't pocket it, it's fine because I've got the 8 and the 5 there as offensive balls. But if he gets the cue ball by the side pocket and makes it, he wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have won it there too because of the 5. But can you see this ball? He's just going to kick. He's showing you exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to kick behind it and
Stay
flip
on top of
Uh-huh,
it as
stay
much
on
as
top of it.
possible.
See how he's able to keep the cue ball there behind it so he can't use it? That's
Mhm.
what Ian was trying to do the last game. But it came up a little bit and gave him some options. Gave Steve some options. That's a pretty creative shot there. A lot of players, especially your old-time players, hate kicking balls. They say it has no place in
Yeah,
one pocket. They are incorrect. There are times to kick a ball, and there are times not to. Know what you're doing with it, that's all. And a lot of times you kick a ball not to make it, but to move it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was scolded in my very first game of one pocket only, or ever, I should say. I did the same thing. I kicked at a ball.
See,
Gentleman.
how nice he laid that in there.
Gentleman was real quick to let me know that, and like you're saying, he was more of an old school player.
Yeah.
You don't kick balls in one pocket. Well, I just
Nah,
kicked it in.
He just kicked it in.
Wasn't the right shot, but it turned out right.
One of the things you should look at when you kick a ball and you kick it successfully in the pocket is what would have happened if you missed it.
Oh yeah, I was selling them for sure.
Yeah, 90% of the time you're going to sell out a bank. See, that was a good
That was
kick.
a great kick
There
shot.
was, and plus there was balls that it might stay behind, and he did it with speed. He had the angle to do it. He did it with speed. He's going to want to make this with a cue ball right off the 11. Oh, you could see it, so never mind. I thought he couldn't see it, so he'd have to, billiard off the 11.
Don't think there's enough of the 8 ball exposed to bank into the 7.
No, but he can bank the 8 ball into the 11 and bring the cue ball and use the 6 ball to block the banking lane. I like that shot a lot.
You might even get lucky and make something.
That's correct. He could actually make the 8 off the 11. It's lined up pretty nice. This is an awfully good shot too. He made it.
Sure did.
Well, yep. Even if that hangs up, that forces Ian to make it for him.
I like Steve's game.
He's a conservative player.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's a solid player. Both of these guys, to give you an idea, Ian is a 707 Fargo rated player, and Steve Lingelbach is a 706 Fargo rated player. And both of them are experienced players playing one pocket. So there's not much that one will do that the other won't know of or anticipate.
About as close to the match as it gets.
Yeah.
According to Fargo, anyhow.
Yes. And hello, he's given up a nice shot on the 7 ball. This game could be completely turned around depending how aggressive Steve wants to play. not sure if it looks like it goes by the 8 to bank. He's got to put it up a little bit, and then he's got to twist it back and get the cue ball out of the way. He may not be able to do this, so he's going to go with the 13 ball, probably 2 rails, and follow the cue ball up. There you go. And nice speed. A little harder would have been nice, but a little harder also takes the cue ball closer to the corner for a scratch. He'll bank this. 2 rails. There we go. Now see this. That's a little more strength on his side. He's given Steve a better angle for the 7 ball. He still doesn't want to shoot it. He wants to take it easy. He might not mind banking that 5 or bringing the cue ball down. He's just surprised. Now see, now it's getting dangerous. Now there's a banking lane there once the 6 or the 8 gets moved. For Steve. He's trying to see what he does if he leaves him way up there. Two rails up against the 8. No, you can see this ball. Yeah.
Watch out, 11 ball.
Well, I don't think he wants him to shoot the long shot.
I think Ian has no problem accepting this 11 ball.
He could 2 rail this ball. Because if he 2 rails it, it could come off one of the balls, but it also could come off towards Steve's hole. So he's going to cut the combo. Yeah, and get behind the 12. Nice. Yeah, pick a little ball that's down there and get behind it, and protect your pigeons.
Fairly surprised he didn't just shoot the 11 to pocket it.
Oh, with the combo you mean?
No, just
Cue
shoot
ball
the
to
11
get-
straight.
oh,
He could
oh.
see the 11 ball.
Yeah, and if he misses it, he gives up the 12, and then off the 12, Steve can just run out. He can run balls.
I would never see Ian missing that ball.
You leave Efren, Scott, and you leave a good player shot like that, and they'll run out on you.
I just
Alex?
would never imagine Ian to miss that ball. It was-
In one pocket,
Doesn't get a
some of
whole lot
those
easier.
some of those easy long shots. A lot of guys will take ball in hand, and they'll have a shot like the 5 ball with ball in hand behind the line and miss it just like that.
I guess
In
you're
one
right, yeah.
pocket, you have to watch that cue ball, and in doing so, it can influence or it can affect your pocketing skills. Some guys don't care; they'll just fire away.
Yeah.
But even those guys get them to miss 1 or 2, and guess what? In the long run, you're going to like it a lot because you keep leaving them that shot, and they're going to keep missing it until they get smart enough to stop shooting those long shots. Because they're in one pocket, they're lower percentage, excuse me. Now, upper echelon players like Scott, Alex, Dennis, or Costello, yeah, they'll take that shot and they'll have you for lunch. But if you're playing them, you better get a good handicap.
Not enough handicap in the world. Looking at our bracket here, we're going to have Gabe Owen and Mark Vidal. on our
This
2 p.m. feature match.
This is a crazy shot, but that 7 ball will 3 rail and draw the cue ball behind the 11. The focus on the shot is to get the cue ball safe. Risky shot. A lot of players don't even want to deal with them. This 8-5 looks pretty good, but he can't really attack it. He's just got a lead. When you have a lead in one pocket like this, 6-1, you play like a lamb. When you're behind, you play like a lion.
I think I'd always like to play like the lion.
Yeah,
Alex?
Well, everybody wants to play. You just lionize your game. Take
That's right.
lessons from him. There you go.
That's all I got to do?
And Ian he's cinched the game. There isn't much. I can't see anything that Steve can do here. The best thing he could do is to kick this ball and follow it in. Because Ian needs 1. And the 3 ball's in the way for the 3-railer. Oh, he got by it, but he went short. Yeah, 3 balls in the way for that 3-rail kick. He was trying to make it and follow it in. That's all he had. He's going to make him shoot this. He needs 1 ball. He's going to use it for a bridge, so why not?
There may be there was a player meeting this morning, I believe. There may have been some sort of concession rule put into place.
Okay.
Possibly they don't want them conceding games.
Well, it's
Could be
2
wrong,
games,
just kind of guessing
2
there.
games to 0, and it will be Ian's break. And these guys will rack their own.
Excuse me, I'm stuttering. Do you know if a ball's pocketed on the break, are we re-racking and breaking?
No, they are not.
Okay. It will count as a pocketed ball.
Pocketed ball, and just continue to play. Play continues. The players did complain about that a little bit. They didn't. A couple players did not care for that rule. There are a lot of rules in one pocket that sometimes some tournaments will use, others will not. That is actually, I might even call it a controversial rule. Where if they pocket a ball on the break, you re-rack and break over again. Some players feel that, there. Look at this shot. I thought he made it.
So did I. Look at his cue ball.
Excellent.
Can't even find it. It's hiding.
But unfortunately, I think Ian can see the 7, and if he can see the 7, it all goes away. Apparently, he can't, because he'd be kicking at it. Now, see, if he kicks at it to make the 7 or move it, gives up the 3 for a bank shot. The red 3 on the left by the chalk. Gives it right out. Now, where was I? Oh, controversial rules. They feel that pocketing a ball on the break in a short race is, you might as well give up that game because it's a big, big, big advantage. Well, arguments against that are you have the same opportunity as your opponent to pocket a ball on the break. And, it takes away the option of you could possibly lose the game with a break and run. And that doesn't happen very often in one pocket because of that rule. Sometimes you pocket a ball on the break, you open them up. Some players will get out. They can't get out.
Yeah, I wondered if there was a way to rack or do something kind of funny to help.
Well, since you're racking it, no, it's actually you can break that will influence the shot. But most players use a break that's more defense-oriented than offense-oriented.
Okay.
I've actually seen, to tell you the truth, I'm going to, so Scott doesn't get, at 2005 U.S. Open, I played Scott Frost, and he has like an 8-ball break. You play to make a ball, and you take the cue ball up table, so you leave a really long shot. If you're playing a real weak player and you feel you can beat him, you take a chance if you really want to show off a little bit. And that's pretty much what Scott did to me.
How'd that work out for you?
I missed the long shot. Had I made the long shot, I would have had a good chance to win a game. A nice shot there. Look at this shot. He came across that ball. He knew it was coming off that ball. He hit it really, really nice. And that 7 ball, had the 3 ball not gotten away, would have probably gone in. I'm sorry, Ian shot that shot. And Steve's at the table now. And this is a really strong position here for Ian. Very strong position. This might be a time where you play like a lion and bank the 10 and get position. Or bank the 9 and come around 3 rails with the cue ball. But the 6 could hinder that. He's in trouble here. He's in a lot of trouble. And the reason for it is there's not one side of the table, left or right or down or up, where Ian doesn't have a ball in play. The 7 balls on one side, the 3 balls on another. And then there's balls in the middle. He's in trouble. Very, very much a lot of trouble. What could you do here? He could just take an intentional, but it's just going to get worse. He could shoot this. He looks like he's playing this ball. I'm not sure what he wants to do here. He's in a lot of trouble. He could possibly two-rail the 6 and push the cue ball up behind the 13 and not leave the 7, and he'll have, you know, balls in play. He's going to try to take this ball out and get a ball to his hole hard. There you go, just like that.
That was
very creative.
beyond my.
I thought he was going to hit the 7 ball and try to get them both out, and the 7 ball would have done what the cue ball did on the 3 ball, and that would have worked. But now, oh, he went rail first and it wasn't successful. That was tough. That's where I say, you know, I got the shot to win or to do well with and didn't execute. That's where a lot of games are lost.
Yeah, I've never played Scott one pocket, but we have a
running record?
bit of history playing 8, 9, and 10 ball. I'm 23 and 26. I like that. Not bad for someone like him. In our next match, I think I just mentioned
Right up
Gabe Owen
against-
and Mark Vidal, another very tight Fargo match, 727 and 725.
Well, I actually don't know how adept Mark Vidal is at playing one pocket, but he's a strong regional player out of Denver.
He had some good wins in the straight pool.
He did, and he had some good play. I'll tell you, he gave Shane a match.
Mhm.
He lost 125 to 80, but he ran 78 balls on him.
Wow.
And he only shot twice.
That's got to be the second or third highest run in the.
Yeah, he
event.
only shot twice. So Mark didn't make a bad showing. He felt like he did, but I'm sorry, you put up those kinds of numbers against the #1 player in the world, one of the top players in the world, or the winner of the tournament, and the high run was 84, twice by the same player. But you know,
Did he do it again?
Huh?
Did he do it in the finals too?
Shane?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he ran 84 and missed.
Oh wow.
And right after I said he's gonna beat his high run record, never mind.
Oh no.
That's exactly how that went.
That's funny. Shane 2 for 2 this week.
And Ian's protected the 8 ball, using the 8 and the 9 and the 10. He wants to get behind where the 3. He's going to cut this 12 ball in. Missed it. Long shots. You see? Would you miss that playing rotation? Probably not. But playing one pocket, stuff happens.
I
Ben.
guess anything can happen. I don't want to say
When
that's a hanger. I'm
yeah.
going to make it every time because, I mean, clearly we've seen a couple of shots that we would think, I don't want to say hangers, but fairly routine, and they're not. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What happened when Ian shot that 7 ball that was pretty much hanging in his pocket?
Yeah,
He
that was
missed
another
it.
one.
Yeah. And now this'll cost him the match. I
Yeah.
think Ian gets these 4 balls, and I believe that's all he'll need. He's made 1 or 2 already. I think he's got a running score, so.
Let's see, we've got 3,
He'll
6,
either play
7.
the combo. If he gets on the combo, he'll play
4.
the combo. If he doesn't, he'll play the 12.
This is ball 5, I believe.
He's just going to make sure he stays there. Yes, nicely done. Now he's going to want to come around. Will he draw or will he follow is the question. I would follow 3 rails to get on the 14 ball, which is right next to the cue ball. He might, some players might draw this ball and get on the 9.
I like
Or the
I like
10.
what your route kind of running forward.
Well, not with the bridge.
Yeah, that certainly makes it tougher. You're
With the
right.
bridge, you just might draw it up a little bit and bank the 1.
It's the cue
Because
ball.
he does not want to do that. Now, watch how fast this momentum swings in this game. But the good thing is, well, I was going to say the good thing is he can play the 1 ball and then get on those balls up there, but he'll play the 10 or the 9. Take the 1 or the 10. Next. Depends which shot he shoots. I don't think he'll play the 1 first.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll play the 10, stop it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was.
And then play the 1
thought he
and
was
come across and try to open those 2 balls up. Coming across it. Or he might play position on the 9. Another good shot is to move the cue ball over just to the right, play the 10, shape the 9, and now try to open the balls up after the 9 with the 1. A lot of different ways to go about accomplishing the same thing, running out. And from the booth, folks, it looks really easy.
We don't miss too much from here, do
No,
we?
no. And we are able to get position on every ball that we intend to. Like Ian did, trying to get on those balls up there. And when he scratched.
We wouldn't have done that from here.
Of course not.
No.
Never happens.
Certainly increased.
You got to keep those things in mind.
Certainly increased the difficulty and the odds for error in picking up that bridge.
Look at this. All the balls are up table again. See how they end up there? Ian has a 4-2 lead. He's protecting this lead by getting the balls up table. Fortunately for Ian, that scratch only cost him 2 balls. And the one he paid, so it cost him 3. That was a tough shot. He had to get it past the 3. I doubt that. I think Ian will push that up, play with the 3 ball, and move it over to his side, and keep the cue ball on the right side of the table, so he doesn't give him an opportunity to bank a ball to his hole without a penalty.
Doesn't want that 14 to leak out.
You 2-rail the 9 ball here, and just don't leave a shot on the cue. That's if you want to. He doesn't have to. He might just play safe. No, he 2-railed it. Got to make sure you get it against the rail because you give up a shot otherwise. And this is actually a shot that Steve already showed.
Yeah, we saw him make this.
We saw him shoot this shot.
In rack 1.
He can run into the 2. He can miss the ball and run into the 6 up on top and give up a shot. So he didn't even play it. See the difference?
I wonder what influenced him not to take that shot this time versus.
He could go up there and go off the 6 and scratch. He could also sell out.
Yeah.
It's low percentage, but you have to weigh those things. When you kiss off balls and you're going to go into them, bad stuff can happen, and it costs you a game. His man's on the hill. He can't afford to lose another game.
That's true.
Like right here, he's got a good shot on his 5. But he's given up a shot on the deuce with shape on the 5.
Yep. What's Ian going to do here?
He's also given up the, maybe not, the 9, I was going to say, with shape on the 5. Ian's going to run out. See, he was trying to, he hits that full, he's got a shot. Some players will play that shot that he just had. They'll run it over, they'll bank it over, they'll try to twist it. They'll hit it above the pocket with a little bit of right-hand English and get it over in front of the hole.
That's what I was looking at. I clearly would be playing way too aggressive. I'd have been cooked a long time ago. I'd have been a done turkey.
He's got to be careful here. He wants to kick the 14 out and not scratch.
I'm going to have the whole world reaching out to me via Facebook,
Let's
wanting to play one pocket. After
That's
they hear my commentary and the shots that I'd potentially be shooting.
Yeah, that's a nice kick, but this 14 ball does go.
Twist it out and spin
Twist
it back.
out.
Yeah, we saw
Twist it out.
quite a few of those shots in the bank pool event.
Yes. But you're turning the cue ball loose, and your man has 5 balls. And you don't stand to run out. Now, I'm sure that if there was more available, he might shoot it. Is he going to pocket a ball and just leave the cue ball behind the others? Yep. He's got to get balls downhill. This is a smart strategy. Although if I'm Ian, I'm playing this 3-ball combo and bringing the cue ball back a little bit. I like it.
I hope he shoots it. He couldn't tell if he looked at it or not.
Yeah. He's going to 2-rail the 4 and stop the cue ball on the 6. Oh, no, he's going to bring the cue ball over. I'd have stopped it on the 6, protected him. But when you stop balls like that, like on the 6 ball, might leave him straight in.
Yeah, you could potentially
And
just.
it's going to cost you 4 more.
Yeah.
So, careful. This is a good bank shot. 14 will gladly drop it if he hits it with the 4. Now he's got a dead one. Goodbye 4, and stick the cue ball right there. Oh, he's going to bank the 10, shoot the 10, and put the cue ball behind there. That's nice. That's nicer.
I like that shot.
That's nicer, much nicer. I didn't have a chance to see that. As soon as he lined up on this, oh no, this is much better.
He's getting down on these creative shots like they're second nature. He's not even taking a moment to think.
Those are standard shots. Those are standard shots.
That's impressive.
Yeah, when you can put a ball in front of your hole and do that with the cue ball, it's very standard.
Yeah, I'd have to stand there and kind of dissect a couple of shots before I pulled that trigger. You can obviously tell Ian's got some vast one-pocket knowledge and understanding of the table.
He's been there, done that many, many times.
Yes, he has. Two-rail to 6.
Another two-railer on the 6 and follow the cue ball again. Or he could play the combo and bring the cue ball over to the same side. He's got the angle to do it with. And actually, it's free. He can't
He
pocket
might even be able to,
4.
oh yeah, I was going to say draw under the 6, but he doesn't want to do that. That's it. Bingo.
Hello, 10 ball. Does he try to play shape or does he play the 3? See, what's allowing him to do this is the 4 and the 14 tied up. And things could change. Oh, it's almost kissing. It's going to be tough. Let's see how Steve handles this. I saw Paul Marquez walk by, and I thought I was trying to think of his first name.
I thought I saw him.
His name came out. And he'll probably, ideally, he'd like to hit this 3 ball and get behind the 4. Let's see if he even tries that. If it's just going to go up. He doesn't. It's no biggie to him. He's not even going to try to do that. He's going to force Steve to mess with the 4-9. He doesn't want to waste his time because Steve will have to waste a shot to open it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ian's not going to mess with that 4 and 14. It'll be a wasted shot and it'll be freeing up
but
Steve's problem balls.
One thing about not messing with 2 balls in front of your opponent's hole is they can come back and haunt you. If he gets a shot like this shot here, if he's able, actually I shoot this shot all day long. He'll cut the 10 for 1 railer and try to cut the 5 over and shoot the cue ball straight up. He didn't even do it. He just went here, down here at the bottom. I'd like that shot. The way it laid, it was almost a natural cut. And the cue ball got out of the way, and you're going to be pushing all 4 balls in front of the hole. I think he just missed that. Now see, it can come back and haunt him if he leaves those 2 balls there. It could easily come back and haunt him. Those are 2 potatoes that'll get eaten up real quick.
Making me hungry, sir.
And there's your hunt. Now how do you like it if he gets shape on the 10 and comes down and opens those up? Now there's 6 balls available. He can lose the game because he left those 2 balls there and sold out.
I like where the 14 and 4 are. I don't see those helping Steve at all.
Okay.
Without some sort of collision.
Of course.
And if he is successful in pocketing a ball and causing a collision and breaking that up, it's got to be a fantastic shot.
Yeah, it won't be too fantastic. It won't take too much. 10 ball with shape on the 11. And if he chooses, he can bank the 6 ball down there or try to open up those 2 balls in front of his hole. See how he handles it. It's there for the taking. He did not get on the 11.
Is he looking to see if the 5 maybe, nope.
He's going to try to make it from, he's going to try to make the 5 by spinning it. What about the 5? What about the 5?
You can hear him say, "What am I doing?" Yeah, that was a mental lapse right there from Mr. Lingelbach. He, clear as day, you could hear him say, as soon as he struck the ball, "What am I doing?" He realized that he sold out. And
I don't even think he was trying to get shape on the 11 when he shot the 10.
And Ian went ahead and gave a ball to Steve.
Sure, he's got 7 now.
He does. We are at 7-5. So Ian double hill. On the hill in game count and ball count.
Uh-huh. Ian needs one for the match.
Yep.
He's in a lot of trouble. See where that 6 ball is?
Mm-hmm.
How big does it play?
It's monstrous.
And Steve is doing what he's supposed to, get balls downhill so he can win the game if he gets another chance to to do so. Straight, and he's just going to cut the 11 ball. Oh, he's going to cut the 4. Okay. Didn't take any chances. Cutting the 11, if he missed it, probably would have given up a bank, an opportunity.
Yeah.
Any shot now is a shot where he can lose the game. If he gives his opponent a shot, of course, if Ian makes it, he wins. He needs one. But even Ian giving up a shot, his opponent can get 3 balls that are there.
Mm-hmm.
Now look how big he's got a duck. He can't afford to leave the 6 ball. So he's lined them back. He's lined them together, see? Lined them up on the 11-6. So he doesn't give up. He might shoot this 2-railer, but he's got to be careful not to scratch. He just might hit it and come all the way down to the table again. Yep. All the way down. All 3 balls on his side. You will never see Ian leave a ball on his opponent's side. The whole left side of the table now belongs to Ian. The right side of the table is empty. Now, if I'm Steve, I'm 2-railing the 11 ball with pace.
Just barely avoiding the 6 ball.
Yeah, it avoids the 6 ball. If he hits it good, it avoids the 6 ball. He's behind, so he's got to do something to win. But he can't leave a bank shot, so that's why I said with pace. Get it down and back up if he misses. So, which is basically called a flyer.
Yeah. My whole pool
See?
career.
Yeah. You see what Ian's doing? Nothing to the right side of the table. No bank for you, sir. Mr. Lingelbach, you didn't play bank pool, so you're not getting one. Should have played in the bank pool. Now he wishes he would have hit that a little harder, but not 2. He's given up a very nice bank on the 4. Very. You want to come all the way down in the 4 ball, over by the first diamond. It's over. Oh, never mind. Just leaked out. This ball could bank, but the cue ball is going to be flying around the table. He's got to take the shot. He doesn't have to. I take that back. But I'm very aggressive. I will take the shot. It's a very tough shot because you got to hit it perfect and draw the cue ball away from the 4. So that means it's flying. It might be a bad shot. Never mind. I might just kick it out. But he gives up a bank shot on the 6.
Maybe we can play some 1 pocket, George.
Now that's one game that you're going to hear gladly from me.
Totally kidding, sir.
Gladly from me.
Yeah, you know my...
I don't know how you play, but I know how I play 1 pocket, and I know my experience alone should give me a very, very good chance to win.
Yeah, you've got the edge there for sure. You've probably got the edge in all games. And you can certainly spot me in the commentary department.
You just need to talk more and me less.
You do such a good job, though, and these people have been hearing my voice for the last month.
Yeah, but they want to hear your voice instead of mine because they're getting tired of mine. I hope not, but, never know. This game does excite me, though.
Yeah, I can tell you've gotten a little more into this, and you've definitely shed some great knowledge so far. We're only an hour in.
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
But, I enjoy 1 pocket, and there's so many different things the person can do right here. I actually had the privilege to get in the booth one time at when Scott Frost played Efren in Tucson.
Oh, yeah.
That big match.
That 50K match or 100K, whatever.
I got to get in the booth with Billy and Cardona, and I was like you. I was sitting there like, teach me, Billy. Teach me, Billy. Because, he, I think as far as 1 pocket, he brings a lot of insight to the game.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing it for a long time and Heck, I used to watch Billy play in 1989. I was at the McDermott Open 9-ball tournament, I think it was, in Scottsdale. And he was competing in that, and he was a top 9-ball player. And, of course, from there, he became a very top one-pocket player. I don't know if he was ever, yeah, he was at the top of the food chain. And in the commentary department, he's at the very top of the food chain.
Oftentimes I get Billy and Cardona and Danny DiLiberto confused. I'm not sure why I get the two mixed up, but I do on occasion.
They do a lot of commentary together, and they're actually a good combo in the booth.
Yeah.
And Danny is a riot. He'll challenge Billy on shots. He'll say, "I wouldn't shoot that. You got to be crazy to shoot that stupid shot."
That's awesome. They can kind of play off each other.
Oh, sure.
Super cool.
Sure. Billy will just chuckle. You know, this summer we're going to have lots of pool here at in Las Vegas for you fans, for you players.
July 17th to the 27th
Why?
at the Rio Hotel and Casino. We have the
Yes.
USA Pool League National Championships alongside the BCA Pool League World Championships. Don't we also have the Diamond Las Vegas Open, George? You want to tell them about that one?
Yeah, we'll get to that one. But, you know,
Okay.
during the BCA, there's also a 9-ball challenge, an 8-ball challenge, where the pros that are lingering around to be in the area, to keep themselves busy, they'll get in that. And so your amateurs can play. And I think it's only like $100, $125 entry.
Yeah,
So it
it's
gives you a great chance to play with the pros and not just see them in action.
very cool.
And those are all on 7-foot tables. But on 9-foot tables, you just mentioned the Diamond Las Vegas 9-ball Open, $25,000 added tournament with a 128-player limit, being played on 9-foot diamonds, $275 entry. So reasonable to get in, play with the pros, but there is a limit. So get on the website, playcsipool.com, and get entered.
Uh-oh.
Mistake?
Well, no, not so much. Ian, I don't know if he wanted to get that far underneath him. He may have potentially shown a shot to Steve there to the lower right.
Sometimes when you open a door, the players will walk right through it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he should attack with
He's
the
got
6.
He's got to attack. He can go 2 rails to go up where he's at again, right now, or 1. Overcut it. He's going to give up a bank shot. Oh,
I
it's
don't
a nice
see
one too.
Ian taking it, though.
I do.
Oh, the 6-ball bank.
Yeah, the
I'm
6-ball
sorry,
bank.
I thought you were alluding to the 11.
Oh no, the 6-ball bank.
Yeah, that's
And
much,
look at
much
this.
better
Oh,
shot.
that should have nibbled off the
Yeah.
3 and gone in.
If it kissed the
I'm
back of
surprised
that
it didn't.
3-ball.
I'm surprised it didn't. But now look at the advantage Ian has in this game, needing 1 ball. Whatever Steve does here, Ian's going to get a shot to
Yeah.
win the game and the match. Back to my point about the Diamond Las Vegas 9-ball Open. At 275, again, it's reasonable, and that's July 17th through the 20th. And then right after that, we've got a big one, and you
We
like to
do.
talk about that
I
one,
like that
don't
one.
you?
I believe that's the July 22nd through the 26th
Yes, yes.
in that same Predator Arena.
Oh, cue ball.
The Predator World 10-ball Championships, $100,000 added.
Here's a little something for you to learn, Ben. I'm
What's
going to
that?
interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Sure, no problem.
A lot of players will not shoot this 1 ball. They'll bank the 6.
When they're on the hill and they need 1,
Yeah.
I want to play those players.
No, you don't. Because if he misses, then you've seen that he's missed.
You're not supposed
he
to
did-
miss a spot
No,
shot
you're
with
not
ball in
supposed
hand.
to. But a lot of players, there's a lot of, not the pros, but a lot of players will not play that shot. Though it's, you know, I would play it. But let's just say upper echelon players would not play that shot.
No?
I'm not calling myself upper echelon.
Yeah, you
but,
were.
No, I wasn't. Because I have a lot of confidence in my spot shots. But some of the old-time players, they'll bank that ball because now he's going to have 3 balls there. So that match is over, folks. And
Ian Costello defeats Steve Lingelbach by a score of 3-0.
We were talking about the Predator World 10-ball championships, 100,000 added invitational, 64 players. Then the U.S. Open 10-ball and the U.S. Open 8-ball, the 8th through the 13th, 3 days apiece at Griff's. Next match will be in just shortly.
About 45 minutes. We're going to have Gabe Owen versus Mark Vidal on our feature table. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
Perfect.